Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And good news, everybody. Good news. Cinderella Castle marked safe.
It is safe.
It did not burn to the ground, but it's crazy. This is the world we live in right now when, this kind of thing could happen. I mean, Disney has had a lot of fires lately. And I think they're a bit lax on their safety now because they're trying to save money. But yeah, there's a story going around. It is a parody article on Mousetrap News.
We've mentioned Mousetrap News many times. If you have a sense of humor and you want to laugh, it is like, and you want to laugh at Disney, it is a good place to go.
Yeah, so think The Onion, think the Babylon Bee, but with a Disney bent. And yeah, breaking news: Cinderella Castle burnt to the ground, and a lot of news outlets had to correct people because people were panicking.
But if you read the article, if you take a minute to read the article, you'll see it's a joke. I'll show you that in a minute. But they also have such wonderful stories as Disney officially launches OnlyFans with adult content. It's a small world is closing permanently for being offensive.
That
Mickey Mouse is running for president. I know. That's probably the thing. Is the reason they do so well is because they all have like a kernel of truth to them, and that's what makes Mousetrap News such a fun site. It's like you can see where they're getting this from, like. Disney building a roller coaster that jumps track, and they're showing this like big thing because they're doing that with Universal with the I think it's with the Dark Universe coaster. It's going to jump the track.
I can't imagine.
No, it's Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong coaster.
Donkey Kong is because in the game,
Donkey Kong's gonna jump the track.
In the Donkey Kong Country video game, you'd be on the mine cart and it would jump the tracks. And that was a big. It was tricky.
It doesn't actually jump a track. It has an arm, and you're on an arm. This is like so. They all have a kernel of truth. Disney adding urinals to all women's restrooms. It's kind of believable, okay? So that's how they get people. I do recommend them highly. They're funny. If you have a sense of humor, go check them out. But here's the story that set it all off. Breaking, Cinderella Castle burns to the ground. It didn't. It's fine.
No.
Calm down. It's all good.
It's okay. It's okay. So we're gonna talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to piratesandprincesses.net where Geeky is setting the record straight. That Cinderella Castle did not burn to the ground.
I do bring up other things that did catch fire. But also check out Mousetrap News because it's funny as hell.
It is funny.
So breaking news, Cinderella Castle burned to the ground yesterday. The castle caught fire early in the morning and sent smoke pouring through the Magic Kingdom. So they go on about how the firefighters responded and onlookers watched the tragedy unfold. And they said they tried to prevent as much damage as possible, but it burned to the ground, is unsalvageable. People are asking what took firefighters so long to get there.
I would have, Reedy Creek Fire Chief says, no, it would have been funny if they would have had like Dopey on fire, his face half melted running, and then he just like collapses in the street.
It's not funny. It's not funny. So they said that Reedy Creek hasn't said what caused the fire. They're talking about another joke article. We reported earlier that Disney wanted to move the castle at the end of the 50th anniversary, but they got backlash. So now people are speculating that Disney intentionally started the fire to allow them to burn Cinderella Castle down so they can make it look like an accident. But they wanted to bring in a Spirit Halloween, Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated, or Elsa's Castle.
So there's a kernel of truth there. So for those of you who follow Disney, I don't know, this is kind of obscure, but the Enchanted Tiki Room.
I did bring that up in my article, yes.
In the Magic Kingdom, right? There was a retheme, which I think is going to go over, I think that Country Bears is going to go over about as well as this under new management retheme. It was reviled. People hated it. They wanted the original Enchanted Tiki Room back. This retheme had like Iago and Zazu, I think, were in it. So. Yeah, and it was just kind of like a parody of the Enchanted Tiki Room. Anyway, one day, the Enchanted Tiki, and there were rumors swirling that they were going to revert it to the original show or close it or something. But one day, as if by magic, when nobody's around, the building catches on fire. And then they're like, oh, guys, the building caught on fire. Let's put the original show back.
People have been joking for years that someone set it on fire on purpose, but to put it, either someone who worked there or a fan or something to make him put it back to the other one. And when they brought it back, they made it a shorter show, and it's not the same as Disneyland. But they did return it mostly to its previous incarnation. But yeah, so I love this. They wanted to burn it down so they can put these things in there. And it's funny they mentioned Elsa's castle because in September they were making comments. I guess it was Josh D'Amaro who's in charge of like the theme parks and stuff, and he was making comments about that the new Frozen land that's over, I think it's in Hong Kong. Is it Hong Kong?
Yeah.
That was just they're going to maybe take some of that over here because it was research and development, and they might be taking some of the Frozen stuff and bringing it over here. It was some offhanded comments that were made, so that was funny that they put the Elsa Castle in there because if you watch the news, then you know that he made comments about adding something like that to Walt Disney World. Or Disney parks, could be Disneyland too, but yeah. So there are kernels of truth to it, which is what makes it sound so real. So people, I can't stress to you how much people were losing their shit. Like I did this correction, I did this story on it last night because I saw like people were like, well, I'm like, wait, the castle burned down? And I took one look and saw it was Mousetrap News, and I'm like, oh my, and you just go down to the pictures. You can clearly tell they're kidding, right? It's clearly a joke. So I had to put up an article because people were like writing me like, oh my God, no. But we do there's a reason why I believe it, though. There's been other stories. I mentioned the Enchanted Tiki Room, which you mentioned.
Yep.
There was a fire nearby the castle. I think it was closer to Sleepy Hollow a couple years ago. And people saw the fire trucks. I'm going to play just a little bit of it. The fire trucks driving down Main Street, USA, heading into the fire. That was like 2021. Mm-hmm. And then we had... the People Mover and Astro Orbiter issue. It was not. I think it was something with the belt on the escalator.
Yeah,
I think is what it turned out to be. But they shut down both People Mover and Astro Orbiter because smoke was billowing out, and they had the fire department coming into the Magic Kingdom again as smoke was billowing out. We had the Festival of Fantasy Parade in 2018 when Maleficent Dragon's head just caught on fire. Like, yay, it's a fun parade. Everybody's happy. Oh shit. And they're just like, they even showed the moment. Yeah, it just sparks and just lights on fire. And then we had the infamous Phantasmic Dragon last year.
Oh my God.
That caught on fire.
Yeah. So we did a video about the Phantasmic Dragon catching on fire in Disneyland. And if you've never been to Disneyland or even Disney World,
people complaining and never been to the Phantasmic show.
They've never watched Phantasmic because it's on an island in the middle of a moat. And the people that actually do that show are trained stunt professionals. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
the audience is way separated.
The audience is way far away.
Over the water and everything.
Right. You're on the other side of this moat, right? So we did this video and people were laughing at it. And even the person playing Mickey Mouse, when it happened, reacted to it and was kind of like, oh my God.
Stayed in character. It was kind of funny.
Stayed in character. And we had people calling us out, and they were like, Clownfish TV, look at them. People could have been killed or whatever.
The audience
could have been hurt, and they're laughing about it. They're malicious, awful people. It's like, no, bitches, you've clearly never been there because there's no way anybody in the audience could have gotten hurt.
I mean, it's very unlikely.
Very unlikely. I'm not saying no way, but it's very unlikely.
They're announcing everybody to leave, and they're just sitting there filming it because they're way far away from it. Like, they're not, unless it blew up and the head shot into the crowd, it wasn't like the fire was going to hurt them there. Now, the cast members over there working on the show, they were the ones I'd be concerned about. But the audience, they're saying, you didn't care about the people in the audience. It's like, but tell me you've never been to Phantasmic without telling me you've never been to Phantasmic. And then Disneyland also had a fire on their Main Street, USA in 2020. It caught, you can see the flames. There's nothing going on here. I know there was one at Epcot just last year too. I think when they were taking down the stupid Stargate looking shithole they had in there.
I think people hated that.
It caught on fire towards the end too.
I think what's going on some level too, multiple problems. One, Disney has pared back on their maintenance people, as I understand it, which is never good. And all these attractions are aging, and it just seems like that is a big factor in this. And I think that they're not doing as much maintenance. So stuff is I
don't know. I think fireworks. I think the one that was at Epcot was because of the fireworks. I mean, sometimes the fireworks will catch things on fire. Sometimes it's not even maintenance's fault. This stuff happens. Like the People Mover, the belt was overheated and started smoking. There's just different things that happen. Now, fires are inevitable anywhere, even at the most magical place on earth or the happiest place on earth, depending which park you're in. It's inevitable. But Cinderella Castle did not burn to the ground. Even if it caught fire, they'd have that thing out so fast that it wouldn't burn down the whole way anyway.
Yeah, I think, if they could get to it. Yeah, all these people taking selfies probably with the castle
In
on
the background
fire.
burning. It's that one little girl's face where she's smiling. You know,
Oh,
the
that
thing's
meme.
burning. Yeah.
The disaster girl meme. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. That would be kind of funny. Like, oh my god, the castle's
We were
burned
literally
down.
on the monorail when it was smoking.
Yeah, we
sparking
were
and
we were
stuff.
on Monorail Blue, and that was one of the many monorail incidents. Which I think they're being forced to fix them or something now. Isn't that what
I
I
would
heard?
hope so. Those things are awful.
The Reedy Creek replacement is actually going to force them to fix the damn monorails, which are very unsafe and they smell bad. But yeah,
stink.
we were on Blue, and yeah, it was like sparking and smoking, and we got stuck on it for like an hour. Which isn't bad, except it was the middle of summer in Florida, and there was no air conditioning, and we were in a tin can.
Yeah, that
in the
was
direct sunlight.
like an hour.
That was a very long hour.
Not fun. But I'm just saying, but things happen, and they got it towed back, got out. It was okay. It was, stuff happens. Stuff catches on fire at Disney all the time. Not all the time, but like often enough that it's
If you go
noteworthy.
to Disney, just expect to see something spontaneously combust. You
Like
can
your wallet.
your wallet is going to spontaneously combust.
Your sense of enjoyment. Anyway, look, this happens from time to time. It's not a big. I mean, it is a big deal, but it's like they usually have it under control. If Cinderella Castle burned down, you'd all know about it. But that's why it's so believable. That's why people think these stories are believable and they're fun, because they all have like, it sounds plausible.
Yeah.
Or they have a kernel of truth. And that one, they had a couple kernels of truth. Adding urinals to women's bathrooms sounds like something Disney would do. Okay, but a man shot for cutting line inside Disney World, I mean, unless it was another guest getting mad, it wasn't likely, because you can't even get it. You have to go through security. You're not going to be able to just bring a gun into Disney World.
Yeah.
Cars Land replacing Dino Land. Actually, that's plausible. They're not doing it, but it would be plausible.
I could see them doing that.
Disney announces a Lion Queen, a sequel to The Lion King.
I could see them
also
doing that
plausible.
too. I could see them doing that too.
So this is all like, it's understandable. The reason that Mousetrap News is so fun is because not all of their stories, but most of them are ones that, you could believe. You'd be like, oh my God, this sounds like something Disney would do.
Taylor Swift renting out Disney World. Didn't Rosie O'Donnell? I thought she rented out Magic Kingdom.
Probably.
You actually can rent out parts of Walt Disney World. Now, Magic Kingdom, I think, is going to be incredibly expensive if it's even possible to do that. But I know, like, they will close off Toy Story Land. They'll close off parts of Epcot. You can rent them out for private events. They are not cheap. I think the floor is like $20,000 to $30,000 for a night.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, like self-driving strollers coming to Disney World. Disney World adding slot machines. I can tell you that's not true, because they took out a lot of their things at their
crane machines
at
and
their
stuff
resort
that were,
hotels, because it was considered gambling.
Yeah.
Disney World free for Black people on Black History Month. Disney announces proud of Fat Pride Princess movie. I mean, these are things that they do something. They sound kind of plausible. I hate to say it, but they do. So anyway, Cinderella's castle is safe. Don't have to worry.
There we go, guys.
Are we gonna wrap this up?
We're going to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Go out to piratesandprincesses.net for more objective Disney news. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.